بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سعادة الرئيس التنفيذي للهيئة الملكية بالجبيل المهندس محمود بن صالح الذيب، أصحاب السعادة أيها الحضور الكريم، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
It is our pleasure to welcome you to the closing session of our International Conference of Learning Cities, the 6th. Let's take a journey on the agenda, and we start Mr. Abu Bakr Diaby, Deputy of the City of Waki from Ivory Coast. He is going to introduce the report from the Mayor's Forum. Please take the floor, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Le rapport du Forum des maires.
The Mayor's Forum report.
Dans notre monde en constante évolution,
in our world that is rapidly changing and that is characterized by social, political and cultural transformations, learning cities thrive to empower their citizens throughout life. Crucially, the climate crisis stands out for the urgent need to establish immediate and cohesive responsiveness within local communities and beyond. In this respect, lifelong learning is one of the cornerstones to foster meaningful change, achieve stability, and ensure peace. The 6th International Conference on Learning Cities, held in Dubai, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, organized 2 mayors' forums to set priorities and explore next steps with the global network of learning cities. The mayors' forums focused on opportunities and challenges related to lifelong learning at the local level and addressed the GNLC strategy for 2025-2030. Both sessions sparked engaging discussions and reinforced the critical role of cities in advancing lifelong learning initiatives. Participants underscored the role of international organizations in providing support and guidance, particularly for education in underprivileged areas. Priorities included, amongst others, improving women's access to training, strengthening the link between urban and rural communities, and addressing the educational needs of displaced populations. Innovative approaches, such as integrating learning into sports, festivals, and cultural activities, came forth to promote a sense of enjoyment and togetherness among citizens. The participants underscored the role of international organizations in providing support and guidance. While in this respect, we know that the global network of learning cities strengthens the exchange of best practices, fosters mutual inspiration, and develops tailored strategies to meet diverse community needs, ensuring inclusivity and relevance. In this respect, the GNLC Academy will play an essential role in implementing the middle-term strategy 2025-2030, equipping cities to integrate lifelong learning into urban policies and align with the Sustainable Development Goals. Its priorities include building capacity in learning cities through thematic cycles, targeted support, and a capacity-building inventory. Improving data and monitoring via refined key performance indicators, KPIs, developing the GNLC monitoring platform and enhancing city leadership. Also strengthening multilateral collaborations by aligning membership with strategic goals, expanding regional and sub-regional networks, with particular attention to supporting Africa and small island developing states. By acknowledging the potential of the GNLC Academy, mayors showed how they could contribute to operationalizing the project. The most relevant discussion points included monitor existing local practices and contribute to enriching the network in terms of lifelong learning promotion and knowledge exchange, set up information systems that could identify and assess citizens' needs, especially of marginalized populations, and create national and sub-regional networks that could reinforce a learning city concept and foster meaningful cooperation amongst learning cities. In conclusion, the two mayors' forums at the 6th International Conference on Learning Cities set the tone to initiate the UNESCO GNCL Academy, thus fostering inclusive and resilient learning cities globally. Thank you.
إلى تقرير المقرر العام للمؤتمر
This is
الدولي السادس
the report of the General Rapporteur for the CLC 6, Ms. Jolie Reddy. Please take the floor.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. I am Julie Reddy from South Africa, and it is both a privilege and an honor to stand before you this afternoon to offer a summary of the key moments and insights from the past 2 days. First, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our gracious hosts, the Royal Commission of Jubail in Yambu, for their outstanding hospitality and for creating such a warm and welcoming environment. As we heard yesterday, the experience we have shared here will stay with us long after this conference ends. In 2013, the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning planted a seed, an idea to make cities around the world vibrant hubs of lifelong learning and collective action. Today, thanks to the passion, commitment, and collaboration of people like you in this room, that idea has grown into a powerful global movement. Together, we are shaping cities that are not only centers of education, but also beacons of sustainability, resilience, and inclusion. This year's theme has been a call to action, a reminder that the agency for change lies within both individuals and communities. As we discussed throughout this conference, our action matters. The learning we engage in and the decisions we make shape the world of tomorrow. This responsibility is one we must carry with care, knowing that future generations are relying on us to act. Now is the time. Over these 2 days, we've explored critical issues such as climate action, sustainability, urban development, and the immense potential of lifelong learning to transform cities. These cities, as dynamic centers of innovation, have the power to lead the way in addressing the challenges that we face and the solutions that we have seen throughout the conference are nothing short of inspiring. One of the most important messages we've heard was the vital need for green skills, skills that are essential for driving a just and sustainable transition. Cities must equip their residents with the tools that they need to build greener and more sustainable environments. This requires not only technical knowledge, but also a humanistic perspective, one that fosters empathy, community engagement, and shared responsibility. As we push forward this green transition, we must remember that we are not just changing systems and structures, but also shaping the hearts and minds of the people who live in our cities. A humanistic approach is fundamental to creating cities where people care for each other and for our planet. The insights shared by the cities and experts in our various sessions have been truly inspiring. We saw how cities are developing tools like the Greening Communities Guide to help municipalities set actionable standards for climate education and local action. We heard also about how digital technologies and artificial intelligence are being harnessed to enhance climate literacy, raise awareness, and empower communities, especially marginalized groups, to engage in caring and sustainable behaviors. These are the kinds of innovative solutions that are not only transforming cities, but are also inspiring hope for the future. We also explored the incredible potential of youth in climate action. By involving young people in decision-making and equipping them with green skills, cities can ensure that they are not just inheriting a future, but actively shaping it. Youth are catalysts for change, and their energy, creativity, and determination are essential in the push for a sustainable green transition. The importance of community engagement also stood out in our discussions. Learning cities are not just about schools and universities. They are about fostering accessible spaces where lifelong learning can happen at every level. Whether through community centers, cultural initiatives, or urban festivals, cities can create vibrant learning environments that empower residents to become active participants in shaping their futures. Our discussions also emphasized how arts and culture play a transformative role in building communities that are not only sustainable, but also creative and connected. Through cultural institutions, cities can foster lifelong learning, creativity, and collaboration, expanding the reach of education and creating spaces where people come together to learn and innovate. Finally, global citizenship was a crucial theme that emerged throughout our sessions. In a world which is increasingly interconnected, cities have a unique role to play in fostering values like peace, tolerance, and empathy. Our cities can and must be platforms for promoting global awareness, and active citizenship, ensuring that every person, regardless of background, feels part of the larger human community. As we reflect on the discussions and the inspiring interventions we have heard these last 2 days, it is clear that learning cities are more than just educational hubs. They are powerful engines of transformation. We have witnessed the depth of knowledge, creativity, and passion that cities and experts are bringing to the table. And I am confident that these shared insights will guide our work as we continue to build sustainable, inclusive, and resilient urban futures. Let us all leave here with a renewed sense of responsibility and a commitment to action. The time for change is now, and it is through lifelong learning, collaboration, and a humanistic perspective that we can create the cities of tomorrow. Cities that are not only green and resilient, but also connected, inclusive, and just for all. Shukran and thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, adopting the final document of the ICLC 6 2024 in the city of Jubail in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with the deputy of the head of the conference, Mr. Raul Valdez. Please take the floor, sir.
Well, as in all international conferences on learning cities, we organize a drafting committee that, based on the content of the conference and with the feedback of participants, was able to draft the outcome document. The document should acknowledge the unprecedented challenges of climate change and the commitment of climate action in learning cities. The committee had the chance to organize 3 sessions of discussions and was able to draft a very short but strong document showing the main messages, mainly the commitments of cities in order to make a big impact in climate change. I would like to ask 2 members of the drafting committee to read the document. It's not a long one. You will see it because it cannot be very long, but it's important that it's reflecting the main elements that were discussed in the conference and the commitment that cities will have, the learning cities will have to that, what we call Jubail commitment to climate action in learning cities. So for this, I would like to ask Mrs. Esther Ndagire from the African Union Commission, and also Mr. João Medeiros from Braga in Portugal to accompany me and to read the document, the drafting document, to the audience for adoption.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. 1. We, the mayors, deputy mayors, and representatives from more than 100 learning cities in 55 countries worldwide, along with education experts, UN agency representatives, private sector stakeholders, and members of regional, international, and civil society organizations convened in Jubail, Industrial City, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, from the 3rd to the 5th of December 2024 for the 6th International Conference on Learning Cities, ICLC 6. The conference theme, Learning Cities at the Forefront of Climate Action, reflects our commitment to strengthening lifelong learning for climate action in local communities. 2, we recognize that climate change poses unprecedented challenges to humanity, impacting urban and natural ecosystems globally. Disproportionately affecting marginalized populations, it demands immediate, collaborative solutions to create a safer, more equitable world and safeguard the rights of future generations and the natural environment. 3, we acknowledge the ongoing efforts by international organizations, governments, and partners to promote education for sustainable development as a key enabler to address climate change. Specifically, we endorse sub-point A, the UN Pact for the Future, 2024, which provides a blueprint for global cooperation on peace, human rights, climate action, and sustainable development. B, the Fortaleza Declaration 2024, emphasizing the importance of investing in localized greening education. C, the Recommendation on Education for Peace and Human Rights, International Understanding, Cooperation, Fundamental Freedoms, Global Citizenship, and Sustainable Development 2024, which highlights the need to strengthen education systems to improve resilience to climate-driven crises. D, the Greening Education Partnership, in brackets, established in 2022, a collaborative platform to enhance climate awareness and education. E, the Berlin Declaration on Education for Sustainable Development, 2022, advocating for the integration of sustainability in all levels of education. F, the Marrakesh Framework for Action, 2022, which promotes adult learning and education as a key lever for addressing climate change and empowering youth and adults as agents of change. And G, the UNDP Beyond Vulnerability Guidance Note, 2024, advancing a unified agenda on youth, climate, peace, and security, and emphasizing youth's transformative role.
Four, we acknowledge that cities are home to more than half of the global population, a figure projected to rise to nearly 2/3 by 2050 and account for an estimated 75% of global CO2 emissions. Cities thus play a dual role. They are significant contributors to climate change while also serving as pioneers in driving climate solutions. As hubs of innovation, diversity, and economic activity, cities are key actors in advancing climate action. 5, we recognize that addressing climate changes requires collective and systematic action rooted in the principles of education for sustainable development, lifelong learning, and cross-sectoral and multi-level cooperation. We emphasize the importance of aligning efforts in policy and practice to maximize impact and address the most pressing urban development challenges as a shared, a bipartisan endeavor. 6, we acknowledge the critical need to provide everyone with access to lifelong learning opportunities, regardless of age or perspectives on climate change, with a particular focus on marginalized groups, including young people, who are disproportionately affected by its impacts. By employing participatory approaches that engage civil society groups and residents at all stages of local climate action, from planning to evaluation, we aim to empower citizens and decision makers to actively address climate challenges. 7. We extend our sincere gratitude to the Royal Commission of Jobal and Yabu, as well as the city leadership of the gracious hospitality and support in hosting ICLCX. 8. We are committed to strengthening our efforts to achieve the 7 Sustainable Development Goals, particularly the SDG number 4, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. SDG 11 makes cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. SDG 13 combat climate change and its impacts. And SDG 3 ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages, in coordination with the national governments and communities. 9. Aligning local climate action with education policies as an integral part of cities' broader development strategies. We commit to considering each city unique environmental, social, and cultural contexts, engaging residents in decision-making and addressing local community needs. This includes integrating traditional knowledges and diverse cultural perspectives by collaborating with community leaders to co-create solutions that incorporate traditional ecological practices, ensuring respectful and inclusive engagement. 10. Mobilizing the political will and resources necessary to prioritize lifelong learning for climate action. This includes target investments to strengthen formal, non-formal, and informal learning capacities and fostering a whole-of-community approach to greening education.
Eleven, bridging efforts between city governments, educational and research institutions, civil society, advocacy groups, and private sector entities whose active contributions are essential to transforming societies into carbon neutral and resilient communities. Through robust, sustained, and accountable multi-stakeholder collaboration, we commit to advancing meaningful, evidence-based lifelong learning initiatives that prioritize climate action. 12, ensuring that learning opportunities address the needs of all segments of society and empower individuals to become agents of change, with particular emphasis on marginalized groups, including low-income populations, women and girls, indigenous peoples, slum dwellers, persons with disability, refugees, older adults, children, and youth. Targeted climate change education programs will equip all citizens to understand and mitigate risks, adopt preventative measures, and advocate for climate resilience. 13, unlocking the capacity of women and girls to lead climate action by investing in girls' education and skills development, particularly through science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, in brackets STEAM, promoting women's leadership and ensuring their meaningful participation in climate decision-making at all levels. These efforts aim to harness the power of gender equality to drive effective, equitable, and sustainable climate action for the benefit of all. 14, empowering young people to become agents of change by providing spaces and funding for youth-led projects, networks, and climate advocacy initiatives. This includes fostering interactive and engaging learning opportunities that leverage digital technologies and align with young people's learning and communication styles. 15, promoting intergenerational learning and knowledge exchange programs that combine traditional wisdom and indigenous knowledges with innovative perspectives and strengthen community bonds. 16, ensuring equitable access to digital and artificial intelligence tools, as well as internet connectivity for all people, particularly marginalized communities, through investments in digital infrastructure, paired with targeted digital skills programs. This will enable all citizens to actively participate in climate change education and climate action.
Strengthening media and information literacy for all residents by equipping them with critical skills to navigate and evaluate the vast landscape of climate-related information, including social media communication. We are committed to offering learning opportunities that empower individuals to identify and consult reliable evidence-based resources, make informed decisions, and recognize their roles as global citizens in addressing climate challenges. 18, creating enabling conditions and incentives for formal education institutions, such as schools, universities, and vocational training centers, to engage in climate change, education, and research through community involvement and the adoption of a whole institution approach. 19, enhancing support and funding for non-formal education in public spaces, libraries, museums, and cultural institutions as enabling environments for education for sustainable development. This includes incorporating nature-based artistic and cultural approaches that engage communities emotionally and inspire collective action. 20, addressing climate anxiety and promoting health and well-being is in response to environmental challenges. We commit to integrating climate resilience not only through physical adaptation, but also by providing mental health support and coping strategies as part of community-wide climate change education initiatives. This includes supporting research on climate-related health issues and long-term health effects. 21, enhancing the development of green skills and the recognition of prior learning to facilitate the just transition to a sustainable and climate-friendly economic models. These efforts will focus on circular economy principles, resource efficiency, and clean energy solutions, also considering their social implications. 22, recognizing the critical role of green financing and resource mobilization in advancing climate action initiatives. We aim to empower cities to invest in an educational infrastructure and capacity building programs that promote sustainable practices, green skills, climate resilience, and stronger urban-rural linkages. 22, strengthening international collaboration and knowledge sharing among cities to enhance local global linkages and facilitate the exchange of best practices, innovating learning approaches and climate solutions to build sustainable societies. 24, establishing measurable targets and timeless and systematically monitoring progress to ensure accountability and stakeholder buy-in for lifelong learning and climate action strategies. We commit to sharing results and lessons learned across cities to build a culture for continuous improvement and inform better policy making. Strengthening the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities. We have the 25, and we commit to advancing the implementation of the UNESCO Global Network Learning Cities medium-term strategy 2025-2030. This includes sharing expertise, contributing to capacity building and networking initiatives, providing resources where possible, and supporting fellow network members in building inclusive lifelong learning ecosystems. Thank you.
Well, with this, I would propose the adoption of the Jubail commitment to climate action in learning cities with a big applause. I would like to use the opportunity to thank the 12 members of the drafting committee and to all participants that share the comments to fill and complete the declaration. Thank you very much.
الجمع الكريم.
August participants,
يسرنا أيضا
it's our pleasure
ختام المؤتمر
in conclusion of the conference to celebrate the efforts and innovations of the students of Al Jubail Industrial City who contributed in the competition of climate solutions organized by the Royal Commission in Jubail Industrial City. The competition was based on the interest of the Royal Commission to cope with the climate action. The competition aims at supporting innovative thinking among youth and motivate them to find out the innovative solutions for climate challenges that we are facing. And the competition objectives are centered around 3 tracks, which is reducing the emissions, expansion of green areas, protection of the wildlife, as well as coastal areas. And we are here today in order to recognize those who have innovative minds, who proved that challenges could be transformed into opportunities that will reinforce the culture of sustainability in our communities. We would like to call upon Engineer Mahmoud Ibn Salahuddin, the CEO of the Royal Commission, to the platform in order to give the awards to those who win in the competition.
أولاً الفائزين في مسابقة الحلول
Winners
المناخية
of the climate resolutions among the youth, male and female students of the secondary schools, Azam ibn Abdullah Al-Anezi.
محمد ابن أيمن الجهني.
محمد ابن أيمن الجهني.
تركي ابن مشعل معوض.
تركي ابن مشعل معوض.
حيدر أحمد الإسكافي. ثانياً الفائزين في مسابقة الحلول المناخية لطلاب وطالبات المرحلة الجامعية، عبد الرحمن بن عبد الله المقاط العتيبي. وأخيراً روزا بنت محمد الخاطر.
روزا بنت محمد الخاطر.
نبارك لجميع الفائزين.
Congratulations to all of the winners and we'd like to thank all of the participants for their efforts and innovations. And now we give the floor to His Excellency the CEO of the Royal Commission. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most compassionate, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, august participants, peace be upon all of you. We conclude today the proceedings of ICLC 6 2024, hosted in the industrial city of Jubail. We were really very happy and pleased with this very nice gathering who came from all across the world in this wonderful city. We hope that all of those who attended attained their own benefits from this very important and crucial conference and event. August participants, it is our pleasure as the team of the Royal Commission of Jubail to confirm our commitment, inshallah, God willing, to reinforce the principle of long life learning for the purpose of building local communities capable of addressing and facing the climate change. We also are committed with all of the content of the conference document regarding cities that are resilient to climate change, because the content of the document aligns with the objectives and strategies of the Royal Commission in general, in its all respective industrial cities. August participants, out of recognition and gratitude, I would like to extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to the custodian of the two sacred houses, King Salman ibn Abdulaziz Al Saud,
لمقام مولاي خادم الحرمين الشريفين
to the custodian of the two sacred houses, Salman ibn Abdulaziz, for his patronage, kind patronage that underscores how important it is of education as a main principle of human development for the citizens of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is our pleasure also to extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to His Royal Highness Prince Saud Naif, Prince of the Eastern region, for supporting the proceedings of the conference and constant support for Jubail Industrial City. I would like also to thank His Excellency, the head of the Royal Commission of Jubail and Yanbu, Engineer Khalid Sama, for his major interest and empowerment and enabling to leading the teams in order for this event to come as is best. In addition, I would like to extend my sincere thanks staff members of the Royal Commission for their outstanding efforts throughout the last period in order to ensure the success of this event. In addition, I would like to thank the UNESCO and all of the staff members and representatives in the region for their outstanding effort in organizing and holding this conference, and all of their efforts that they render for the purpose of improving the educational environment worldwide and reinforcing the sustainability. I would like also to thank all of those who attended, participated in the success of this conference. In conclusion, we hope that the conference had achieved its goals and objectives and that you enjoyed your accommodation in the wonderful city of Jubail, and we hope that this will not be your last visit to Jubail Industrial City. We will always be standing by to welcome you once again. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all.
شكرا سعادة الرئيس.
Thank you, Excellency, the President.
إلى كلمة مديرة معهد اليونسكو.
Now we give the floor to the Director of UIL, Miss Isabel. Please take the floor. I would like to welcome you again.
Your Excellency, Mr. Mahmoud Saleh Al-Tib, the CEO of the Royal Commission for Jubail and Yambu, distinguished mayors and city leaders, esteemed representatives of the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities, dear colleagues and ladies and gentlemen. As we conclude now the 6th International Conference on Learning Cities here in Jubail, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for our host, the Jubail Industrial City and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and to each of you who have contributed to this really transformative 3 days. And I have to say that now I understand why Mr. Mahmoud is called the CEO of the Royal Commission, as we saw, because I think Jubail City shows that you combine the efficiency and innovation of private companies' experiences with the political will to move forward and to include for a better future for your citizens. So thanks a lot. And I also was very pleased to see that through the awards that the city was giving to the young people, that you really appreciate and also foster and support your young inventors. And I think the awardees, the future is yours. So congratulations again. We would also like to say that we came to this conference with a very clear purpose. We need to discover and demonstrate how learning cities can lead on climate action. The urgency of this mission was very evident in every intervention and in all our discussions. Most importantly, we have also seen how this urgency now translates into very concrete action in learning cities in different parts of the world. Over the last 3 days, we have achieved really 3 key outcomes. The first was the adoption of the conference outcome document. Even though it was announced of being very short, it's quite long and comprehensive, so congratulations for this. And so it's our Jubail commitment for climate action in learning cities. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you and also with the city of Jubail, of course, in the implementation and follow-up of this commitment. We also would like to make sure that this is not just another declaration, but really a roadmap to build on from your experiences and insights. It will be accompanied by a new implementation guide on greening communities being developed in the context of the Greening Education Partnership. It will also be translated into practice through your efforts in the cities where you live. Second, we have shaped a new operational strategy for the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities that will strengthen our collective efforts to foster climate action through inclusive learning opportunities. This strategy reflects many of your needs and aspirations, features clear mechanisms for knowledge sharing, capacity building, and also mutual support. With this new strategy, we open a new chapter together, one in which we will empower cities to integrate lifelong learning into urban policies and strengthen their capacity to become sustainable, and also develop robust data and monitoring tools, as well as innovation and partnerships. Third, we have deepened our understanding of how to equip communities and support change agents through lifelong learning for climate action. From engaging youth to reaching traditionally underrepresented groups, from strengthening educational institutions to fostering green skills development, we now have a very rich toolkit to draw from in our work towards building more sustainable communities. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to the team in Jubail for the excellent organization of this very fruitful conference. And I would like to say a special thanks to the moderators, speakers, interpreters, and to you all, my very dear participants, for your engagement in the discussions and also for your commitment for future action. I wish to thank my dear colleagues from the UNESCO and from UIL especially for the dedicated efforts to make this conference a success together with our host. As we return to our city, we will carry with us a renewed sense of hope, possibility, and purpose. The partnerships we have formed here, the experiences we shared, and the commitments we made will fuel our work in the months and years ahead. Let us not forget that small steps we may take each day as lifelong learners can add up to address the often seemingly huge challenge of climate change. The UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning remains your steadfast partner in this journey. And I would like to say that I certainly learned for life in this conference. And I would like to also give myself 2 challenges for the future. One is to work with you all on climate action and lifelong learning and accompany the learning cities in their journey. And the second one is to improve my Arabic. So, so let me then, in the spirit of my second challenge, just say in Arabic, Mabruk li jamia ala najah al mutamar. لقد كانت تجربة رنية. شكرا جزيلا ودعونا نواصل الأمال معا.
Thank you very much, and let's continue hoping together. Thank you.
شكرا إيزابيل.
Thank you, Isabella.
قبل الختام,
Before we conclude,
use the earpiece for translating.
kindly keep your headsets Before concluding, we would like to tell you that the agenda of the conference had ended. However, Jubail has still a lot to offer for you. We are going to organize a trip to the sports club between 6 and 6:45, and another evening visits after dinner, and other culture visits tomorrow on Thursday. That taking off from the hotels to the campus of the university, and then we go on for the cultural visits. The cultural visit shall start tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on Thursday tomorrow morning. Thank you very much to the industrial city of Jubail and the Royal Commission of Jubail and Yamba, population of Jubail, citizens, and also I'd like to thank UNESCO, and I would like to thank all of those who contributed to the success of this conference. Jubail is looking forward to hosting you always, and it is also looking forward to host such events that contribute to the protection of the environment as well as the climate, as well as the sustainability of the quality of life together with other cities in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. May God be with you and protect you. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.